现在打了这么多场比赛，就是成绩也不好，队伍的状态也不是特别好，情况算是比较糟糕的。
现在队伍的状态也在慢慢恢复，在接下来的比赛中应该会越打越好。
小五的话，他的风格更偏向一些开团型的辅助，然后差罗碰到我们的话，他团战开启不会这么容易的。
今天皮是一位就是经验比较丰富的老将嘛，我觉得应该不会输给他。
今天对阵 FunPlus， 我觉得刘永祥下路个人实力非常优秀，我很期待和他的对决。
快点被秒了，现在直接往后拉，这边要反打，这边遇到2个人，熊熊这边往后退，这边小炮要收割起来了。
今天我和队友一起并肩作战，再次拿下这场比赛的胜利。
再次去OMG主场挑战的话，我们一定会再次拿下胜利的。
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's broadcast of the LPL. We're going straight to the Chengdu Arena, the space arena of sorts, where OMG will be playing in front of their home crowd, go up against FunPlus Phoenix in their final battle of regular conference play. OMG were able to represent the LPL last year at Rift Rivals, unfortunately not being able to make it there today, but we also have teams playing in Rift Rivals playing later on tonight. Hello, I'm Matthew Stewart, joining me is Clement Chu, and we're going to bring you the first set for today, which is going to be OMG taking on FunPlus Phoenix. What's going on here? I can't do names anymore. Names are difficult, so let's just look at all the names in the LPL instead, with the standings, because after last night, only one team is left undefeated in the LPL, and that is going to be Rogue Warriors, RNG, Invictus Gaming, as well as JD, and now in a three-way tie.
Yep, the big three-way on the Eastern Conference, but on the Western Conference, if we look toward the bottom, we have TOP, FPX, OMG, and WE. WE really letting a lot of fans down, sitting there at the last place on the table. We are going to be taking a deeper dive into the Western Conference today.
We definitely are. It's the last day of the Western Conference regular conference play before Rift Rivals, and then finally cross conference itself. So first match, no, it's not VG, that's OMG going up against FPX in the first game, followed by Snake taking on TOP, and finally to round us all up, to bring us into Rift Rivals, will be EDG taking on RNG later tonight. That will start at 2, 5, and 7. Sorry. EDG taking on Rogue Warriors. I can't do words. 2, 5, and 7. China Standard Time will be those 3 matches, and all 3 of which are going to be played from 3 different arenas. We start at Chengdu, then we move on and finally go into Shanghai for the final arena, live here from the Super Brand Mall.
Yep, even though EDG versus Rogue Warriors wasn't our match of the week, it is still a very high caliber game. You should definitely tune in and watch that. SMLZ versus iBoy. Both of these teams are going to Rift Rivals, so super hype match.
And SMLZ was able to go to Rift Rivals last year, but he was on the roster of OMG, who'll be playing in the first match of today at the arena in Chengdu. Now, they don't have SMLZ anymore. They're going up against FunPlus Phoenix, but they brought in a new AD carry of P, who, after 465 odd days of not playing in the LPL, he's back, and he looks really good in the roster of OMG.
Oh yeah, he definitely looks very naughty, which is what his name does imply right there. He had a tremendous series versus TOP, perfect KDA, 17 KDA if you put that at 1 death, basically, and his Ash arrows were totally on point. 77% accuracy throughout the entire series, and stepping up for OMG, because this is the person that OMG were looking for. The big second carry behind Icon that they never had.
Because Icon had 2 highlight big plays, one in the Spring Split, one in the Summer Split. P. These Ash arrows come in. Oh, make it stop!
From downtown, tagging out Goon, definitely giving him a bad day over there, and it really didn't end there. He consistently hit arrow after arrow to complete OMG's pick composition. They gave him a very good win condition, and he showcased that if you give him the tools, he will deliver.
1 ward, 2 ward, doesn't matter. You're still getting the Cassiopeia. Nocta jumps back in. OMG looking really good with their new AD carry.
Oh, this one's my favorite.
He even knows how to predict flashes, Clement.
This was absolutely disgusting.
Mundo, you know go where you please. You stop. You stop right there, because there's an arrow coming right for you. P with a highlight reel of performance when he picked up Ash. He also went on to play Tristana against TOP. Picked up 7 kills, didn't die a single time during that match. So definitely a huge upgrade for the OMG roster, who now have quite a few big names. I mean, you've got Xiang in the top lane, now Mountain joining in the jungle as well. Icon's always bring brilliant for the team, as well as now Shenshun P and 5 working together. This is starting to look like a good roster. We're just waiting for them to gel a bit better together.
Yep. OMG were in the summer split, I think the 5th place team basically. They had very, very low expectations for them coming in, but finally gelling with their roster going up. I think this is a team on the rise. However, if we look over to FPX on the other hand, there's a lot of problems here. I think FPX statistically, they're most noted for having the most champions played in the league, which is not always a good thing, because it means that they're really haven't figured out the way they win their own games. They're caught between 3 different directions: split pushing from Gimgoon, hyper carry from LWX, and the strong early game from Cool. And with so many champions, they really need to start focusing down and deciding which way they want to go.
Because it's good if they have that champion diversity, a large champion pool, so they can pick and choose what they want to play and adapt to the different type of strategies that we see with a currently evolving meta. Which is great, but so far they've only picked up 1 win in the LPL, and that was against WE, who looked all sorts of worrisome at the moment.
The big problem with FPX, and the big question we had for them coming into this split, is how do they actually finish out games? Because this is a team, unlike OMG, that lacks carries. They have too many carries. They have LWX, they have Gimgoon, and they have Pool. And they're all really great players individually, but you still need to have a general direction for the team to follow. And that's the big question that I want to see them answer. Like, pick a way you want to go and stick to it.
And it's upsetting to watch FPX play in such a manner during summer, because spring split, we had a lot of high hopes for FPX, especially when we looked at their jungle. We saw, Pepper's going to be starting for them. That was good news for them. They're going to be this aggressive early game snowball team. We had the opposite expectations of FPX to what we had of Rogue Warriors. If you swap these two teams' identities around, that's exactly what we expected in the spring split. Didn't happen. Then Cool joined him and said, okay, now they get to work with a veteran, a man that is well known for piecing together different parts of teams to make it work. And so far, we haven't reaped the rewards of having Cool on that roster throughout not only the latter half of Spring Split, but also the break during MSI. And now they're not doing too well during the start of Summer Split either, currently 1-4.
Yep, the trade has not worked out for them. In fact, it's actually taken away their early game power. FPX is a team that does like to go for those blue side first picks. They play the Zoe and the Xin Zhao a lot of the times, but Xingyi, the new jungler for their team, really hasn't been living up to the hype. Instead of being like the calm shot caller that gels all of the carries together, he's just been kind of lost in the noise. Like, we haven't seen him have a standout performance, and at this point, Pepper going to WE has actually made both teams worse.
Oh no. Don't say things like that.
In terms of the standings, I think it's 100% true. Okay?
FPX haven't been performing well, neither have WE. These two teams sitting at the bottom of the table. OMG was doing just that last split, only picking up a couple of victories. They still were banding together, but not gelling well together now with a few more members. So let's take a look at FPX's roster. Not going to be starting with Xingyi here today, as Gimgoon's in the top lane. Alex going to the jungle. Cool LWX as well as Chris. The side of OMG is going to be Xiang, Mountain, Icon, Shenshun P, as well as 5.
And we do have to pick out Alex from the FPX roster. This is the first time we're going to see him play another LMS jungler, so it's going to be an LMS duel between two teams with Mountain and Alex on the other side. I will say that Alex was very well known for his mechanics, was one of the highest ranked Lee Sins on the Korean servers for a long time, so that may be the reason they're picking him up. They say we want to go early aggression with Cool and Alex.
What's going on? First, Casa comes over to the LPL, and everyone's like, man, I miss playing against Casa. I miss beating up that fool. Come on, Mountain, get in here. Alex, get in here as well. Let's go. Now they get to play against each other.
Yeah, but Alex, I do have a couple of question marks. He was a benched player on J-Team, did not fit into the starting roster, in fact. He was very good mechanically, but people had a lot of doubts about him with his communication and with how well he gelled on the team. Now, him coming to a different region, of course, the language is not going to be a barrier, but there's still a lot of things that he needs to adapt to, and I'm not really certain about this. This is not something I'm gonna go out and say, okay, he's from the LMS. Oh, the expectations are here. It's more middle of the road, and he still needs a lot of things he needs to prove.
Because we only just started watching Xingyi play for the roster, so very curious to see if Alex is going to make any huge changes. I mean, he might understand Mountain a little bit more going into this matchup, having played against it before back in the LMS. So there's that potential he brings that to the table, and could just be the only reason why he's starting. It's all speculative at the moment, but his first performance here in the LPL will really dictate our first opinions of him, really.
Yep, he will have some really good plays though. He's known for the Lee Sin, known for the Rengar, and he will try to go for those 1v1 plays. And FPX, they do need a little bit of early aggression, especially when they're running Zoe so often.
Ooh, they run Zoe quite frequently to the point where teams are just like, you know what? If you want to pick up Zoe, why don't we just ban it away, CU? Play something else in that mid lane. Stop picking up the Zoe. Teams like Sinning at the moment, they're just 100% banning away that champion. Yep. Really strong in the pick compositions. We saw a couple of teams work with it during yesterday's broadcast. It just seems to be a pick that Icon will take away if he gets the chance as well. As FPX have to be a little bit careful about that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, of course, Cool still has a lot of champions up his sleeve. Like we talked about,
play whatever he wants.
Diversity is the name for FPX. Not always a good thing, however. He does have the Aurelion Soul, which he did start in terms of the mid lane, and he also pulls out the counter pick to Zoe in terms of the LeBlanc. So there's a lot of different directions this team would go with. It's just which one they actually decide to settle.
We saw his Aurelion Soul, and I believe FPX used it when they're going up against a gold funnel strategy.
Yep.
Where they'd push in the lane and then move Aurelion Soul and the jungle into the bottom lane at level 2. I don't think that worked out so well for the teams that have been trying that strategy so far. But the tower does a lot of damage at level 2.
Yeah, it was failed execution, I would say, but I think the idea in itself was actually good. They've also been the first team to really bring out the Ashe and Tahm Kench as well. LWX had a very good showing onto the Ashe. He's been known as the second hyper carry of the league behind SMLZ, so that is a marksman that does fit his style as well. Another strategy we could look for.
There's RNG as well, bring up the Ashe and Tahm Kench very early into the split. Makes sense that these teams that have very strong AD carries, like LWX, like SMLZ, would be picking up the hyper carry still and trying to adapt to the currently changing meta. But one of the carries that we were able to speak to was Shen. Let's see what he has to say about this match.
今天对阵 FunPlus， 我觉得林永祥下路个人实力非常优秀，我很期待和他的对决。惊喜吧，我反正什么都会，他玩那种怪东西，我肯定能压制他。我还是比较期待正常的 AD 对决。
Well, he prefers to have a normal AD carry against AD carry match. I'm sure LWX thinks the same, but the meta currently says that that might not be the case all the time.
Nope, LWX definitely has played a lot of mages. The Vladimir, the Ryze, the Yasuo as well. He's all for experimentation, and you know, I think this guy could bring out anything.
We can see them play in different positions too. I mean, last night alone, when RNG played, Uzi played in 3 different lanes. Started in the mid lane. Second game was in the top lane, then was played in the bottom lane. So who knows? Shen might not get his wish of actually going up against LWX in the bottom lane. But we'll have to see what these two teams draft because they're going into game number 1. FPX taking on OMG. First 3 bans coming out from FPX were Rakan, Zoe as well as Swain, Nocturne and Camille. 2 jungle bans being thrown at Alex already.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Alex is known for kind of playing those carry type of junglers. And on the other hand, Mountain has been favoring a lot of the Cinderhulk champions from like the Olaf and the Trundle type of picks. We do see the Aatrox being locked in for Gimgoon already.
Very early. We saw that being played by Rogue Warriors Invictus Gaming last night. Duke picked it up. NEG debuted their counter of the Malphite against it in a big matchup for them. We've seen them play it. We've seen Let Me play it before, but very big counter into the Aatrox top lane, but something we don't usually see. Tahm Kench immediately picked up for 5 in the bottom lane. And OMG deciding what their second pick to go with it will be.
Ooh,
and it's going to be Ashe. Shen gets that pick once again.
Yeah, he has great accuracy on the champion, and we've been seeing this duo between Tahm Kench and Ashe, incredibly good laning, and also you can catch your own plays. It's kind of like throwing a ball off the backboard and dunking it yourself. Great in terms of team mobility and catching people out with the arrow and the Abyssal Voyage.
So when you see what FPX are going to decide to pick up against it, Braum is their first lock-in. We haven't seen too many Braums go into the bottom lane. In fact, been more of a mid-lane-based champion. So who knows? This could be a gold funnel strategy coming out from FPX.
Lucian is still up, so we have seen that bot lane combo go out. It is a good counter in terms of going up against the Ashe. So they're leaving their options open on the table. So far, it's really difficult to tell what FPX is going to do. They've played too many strategies to count.
It is difficult to tell. Lucian Braum still a possibility, but Ashe Tahm Kench incredibly safe in that bottom lane. However, Graves has been picked up. Now, we won't know if it is a strategy of gold funneling onto this Graves until we see the lock-ins later on. this does look like exactly what we think it would be, and Malphite gonna get locked in here.
Great
that last
game
night
from Let Me yesterday, getting the lane domination against the Aatrox with the attack speed slow and doing absolute work in terms of the team fight. OMG already have themselves set up for a great catch and pick type of composition.
3 games played in the LPL, Clement, and already 3 victories. Not, you know, stats don't really lie. Very strong champion at the moment, just people sleeping on it. Going towards the Trinity Force build as well. We used to see Malphites go either, you know, pure AP or pure tank. Now throwing Trinity Force into the mix of it for damage as well.
Yep, he does have very good base stats in terms of those attack speed buffs, so he does work well with the Trinity. And just to mention, his high win rate is due to the fact that he is primarily a counter pick. He goes very well into the Aatrox matchup, for Aatrox's only point of damage is his auto attacks.
And his E will slow down the auto attacks significantly. Makes sense when 2 champions on the side of FPX that have already been picked up rely on those auto attacks. Even Braum, to a certain extent, will be relying on just that. Waiting to see what the last few picks for these 2 teams will be, because Morgana and Kai'Sa banned out by OMG. Rides as well as Sejuani taken away by FPX.
I think this is a great comp for OMG because it sets them up very well for Icon to pick up an assassin. He is our premier assassin player. He is known as the Rockstar. And when you have so much pick potential, do you know what you want with your comp? You just want more instant damage to follow it up with.
But first they pick up their jungler. Mountain's going to be picking up Olaf in the jungle, which means Icon gets that counter pick last to see what they're going to be playing for the side of FPX.
Question here is, do they pick up a secondary support and go for the gold funneling, or is that Braum just going for the bot lane? Ooh.
Hello, LWX. Picks up Kog'Maw. It's only been played twice in the LPL so far. And LWX is one of those players that could pick it up.
Yeah, he had a tremendous win rate on this. He's the second Kog'Maw player right behind SMLZ. This is definitely something he's been very familiar with. And we've seen the Kog'Maw do wonders with the new Essence Reaver build. You can basically have your W on at all times.
Something like 36 seconds. What's going on? Hey, that's not my champion select screen. You bring that back. Riot! Riot!
Well, so maybe they didn't want the Kog'Maw.
Hey! I'm looking behind me, Clement. There's a nice big TV screen. I see a Kog'Maw there. It's a beautiful butterfly. But I don't see a Kog'Maw in my game.
It's quite unfortunate. We do have a lot of these technical difficulties from other arenas. Of course, playing out from Chengdu today.
Not happy. What's going on? Does that say that he traveled quite a long distance to get here?
Yeah, he said that he took 3 days and 280 kilometers.
3 days? 3 days?
He probably did not travel by air.
Man, he was riding a horse to get over to Chengdu.
Oh yeah, he definitely wants to see his OMG boys. Like, OMG is one of those teams that still has a lot of fans in the LPL. They were known as the Dark Galaxy team, basically.
Look at their arena.
Yeah, they're space themed, and they're also, their brand has always been the bad boys of the LPL. You know, they fight super hard, super rough. They basically gave the LPL the identity for their aggression. So, you know, a team that goes back a long time, has a lot of standing fans, even outside of Chengdu.
Well, we saw that OMG picked up Malphite as a counter into the Aatrox. We're still not sure what's going on with Champion Select, but we'll let you know as soon as we do know. But we can show you what happened last night when Let Me picked up the Malphite in the top lane. Because we thought Shenshempi was a walking highlight reel. Just watch what this man could do with Malphite. You know, seemingly old champion, very simple, very easy to use. And then suddenly, Let Me just hits you with the 4-man knockup. The 4-man, you know, just casually.
I love how he timed that with the GA as well. There was a lot of factors going into that play. Just the distance to get all 4 people and the timing to get the Aatrox when he stood up from the Bloodwell as well. That was just a treat to watch.
It was. He had 3 more, I believe, of those fantastic ultimates during the game, all of which helped put RNG further and further ahead. IG were fighting back quite strong in that matchup. Let Me decided that he was having none of it. Now we get to see, for the side of OMG, they can do the same thing from Siam side of the map. That's if we actually get a Malphite in the game. What the heck's going on? Hello? League of Legends.
Yep, we're not sure.
Press the play button.
Kog'Maw actually went through, and of course the big secret from FPX is, oh,
hey,
okay,
hang on, hang on. I've seen this before.
This is
Tom
pretty
Kench.
curious because I'm
and
not
then
sure if they
Ash.
have to go with the same ban picks.
Look, they're going to pick Tom Kench than Ash here. They're going to pick Tom Kench
so
and Ash.
they're actually redoing their draft?
Tom Kench and Ash coming. Just believe in my prophecy.
Okay,
And
this makes a
Braum-
lot more sense.
Brom's going to be picked up, and then Graves.
There we
And
go.
then finally
there we go.
Malphite for OMG. I can feel the Malphite somewhere there.
This is
See?
amazing, analyst.
I'm just a prophet coming. I don't know.
Singaporeans are amazing.
Yes, they certainly are.
Some real magic coming out there.
Real magic. That we should see immediately after all the bans go through an Olaf pick. What do you think? What do you think about an Olaf pick for OMG? Does that make sense for their composition?
Makes a lot of sense.
And then do we counter that with, you know, a Kog'Maw pick?
I would say so. Let's do it.
Oh!
What? Okay, so they're not doing the same draft.
That's a fantastic Olaf pick coming out from OMG.
Huh.
Great Olaf champion.
So
The purple Olaf.
there could be two situations here. Number one is the Olaf was actually just like, was misclicked. Okay, so we've just got word from our producers. Olaf was a misclick. They wanted to pick Lulu all along.
Idiots. How do you misclick? Okay. There's certain champions I understand. How do you misclick a huge Viking and a little purple silly hat wearing wizard lady?
They're not even close when you think about the pinging for Chinese either, so...
I am
Beats me.
upset.
I don't know.
OMG, come on. League of Legends, been around for a few years now. Pick your damn champions correctly.
Yeah, but with the Lulu, this does set up... the Lulu should be going mid, in fact, and OMG still need a jungler on their composition, basically.
Oh, Ezreal as well as Galio with the final two picks coming out from FPX, so no Kog'Maw being picked up this time. And still waiting to see what the final pick for OMG is going to be. No! Make it stop! Why'd you misclick this time, you muppet? Hey!
I really think the Lulu was really suspicious because they had the chance to pick a jungler and then counter pick for their mid lane. I think that made a lot more sense than what they actually showed in that draft.
Look, even he doesn't know what's going on. Coach of OMG is like, hello. You know, that's always surprised me, Clement, that because with any esports broadcast or league, there's bound to be an abundance of technical difficulties that, you know, you try to work through, you try to fix whenever you can. And when you're working in any sort of production, the amount of wires that go through, something can and more certainly will go wrong from time to time. But I've played this game called League of Legends for quite a few years now. I think I can count on one hand how many times I've messed up picking up champions or my client has gone boom while I'm trying to pick my champions. But these pro players, this is their living. Why can't you click your damn champions?
From what I understand in the LCS, and we had this in the LMS as well, there was a rule that allowed you to basically repick for a misclick, but you only got it once a season. Because there was a very real possibility that you could technically mispick and then change your draft based on what the enemy team has already shown. Now, we do give teams benefit of the doubt in these type of scenarios. We say, okay, we're going to give you one chance, but you only get one chance. I haven't seen a scenario where you misclick twice, though.
I just remember, goodness, like 5 years ago, casting the GPL. Every single game, there'd be a remake of the lobby. Every single time. Or a remake of even the start of the match. And the immediate response was, Mastery's bug. Mastery's bug. Mastery's bug.
Mastery? Oh, Mastery's bug.
Bugs with the Masteries. Because we used to have runes and Masteries, right? No, not just runes. So it used to be like Mastery's bug, Mastery's bug. And I was sitting there going, I swear, I'm going to go home tonight, probably spam 8 games of League of Legends because I'm an absolute nerd. And I swear I'm going to have 0 games over the course of this entire year where I have a Mastery's bug. And I'm like, what's going on over there, guys? Hello?
Yeah, that was a known thing. It had to do with the tournament realm.
Yeah,
to
it's
be
a
honest.
tournament realm client. Which all these players will be playing on here today. Spaghetti code.
Yep. Well, I don't know what's going on because if you misclick once, I think that's understandable. Misclick twice, there's something going on.
Well, we're not too sure, but when we do know what's happening with these technical difficulties, we will let you know. For now, though, it's just Clement and I hanging out, talking about some League of Legends, talking about this match that I promise you guys, it's gonna start one day.
Hopefully today.
I mean, Clement, it's Sunday, 1st of July, 2:25. I reckon 2024 we can get this game going.
Please no, just make it start in 30 minutes. Like, nobody wants to watch a 30-minute analyst.
Make it start in 30 minutes? How about 3 minutes?
It's like 2:30 is what I meant. 2:30 is what I meant, okay?
Look at Ship, he's tired. He wants to go to bed.
He's got his champion locked in. He doesn't care. It's like, whatever you guys want to play, I'm fine on the Ashe.
There's not even a Zoe in this game. Why am I sleepy?
Well, they have some good signs here. The writing is a little small, though.
Yes, I agree with that sign. I don't know what it said.
Do have Crisp on your
Did he
screen?
just flip me off?
Nah, man, you're reading too much into the situation.
That's all I can read right now, Clement. At this point, I'm just going to start picking production. Be like, can we watch that Malphite Ultimate again? Because that was sick. Let's do something fun. We can talk about these teams back and forth, though. I mean, again, to reiterate what we were talking about earlier on the desk, OMG have really rebuilt their roster. They had a very shaky performance during Spring Split. Very up and down performance, and they only picked up a couple of victories here and there, and they just never looked cohesively good as a team. Winning games, but never really series. And when OMG were doing very well was when they had a great AD carry of SMLZ playing for them. That's when they went to Rift Rivals last year and actually did incredibly well during the tournament. Now they've picked up Shunpei, things have started to turn around for them. They've got Mountain in the jungle, Sealing top lane Icon. We talk about how this is 5 amazing players. On paper, this team is great. This should be a top tier team. How much more time do we give them to gel together, mesh together better, find a synergy before we start saying, all right, this is not working?
I think before intra-conference.
So this is their last chance? The last chance?
I think they should shape up during intra-conference. That's all I'm saying. I think
shape up during intra-conference.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'm giving you a third of the split. You have 2 new players. You need to integrate your squad together. I understand that, but going into the second half, if you want any chance to get out of this rut, here's your time frame to do it. And I do have to go back on the Rift Rivals performance for OMG last year. I would not say they performed well in that tournament because they came in flawless. And then they collapsed. They lost to the LMS team.
Yeah.
They didn't get a win for the LPL until much later in the tournament.
But
and
they
after
got
that,
it where
they came back. What do you mean?
Much later in the tournament.
LPL did win that tournament. That is true. That is true. However, OMG did not live up to expectations.
No,
they came back and pretty much imploded after that. Just to reiterate, last split before Rift Rivals, they were actually flawless. They did not drop a single series. Everyone was pinging them as the new team to really revolutionize the LPL. Everyone thought that they were going to be the team to go to Worlds, and we were going to see Icon and OMG finally fulfill their prophecy as one of the best teams in China. Didn't happen. Nope. And a lot of it, of course, did come down with very public disputes with SMLZ. He later did leave the team for Rogue Warriors.
That was ugly.
Yeah, it was not fun to watch. A lot of dreams and hopes were dashed.
He was very unhappy in the organization itself, it seemed, but everyone else from OMG just calls a cucumber. Besides the, is it OMG that started junglers in AD carry positions before, though?
I'm not sure. It's like very old. You mean season 3?
No, last split.
Oh yeah, Jaco. Jaco played as an AD carry for some reason.
Yeah, they've got some interesting solutions to problems they face, but now the team's looking good together. They've got their new arena as well, which unfortunately every team has gone through. So if I'm picking up a new arena in the LPL, that means you lose the first match at your new arena. Congratulations!
Yep, you do always do that. Takes a while to get accustomed to. I think Snake has the best arena. You know, their arena is actually on top of a mountain.
What?
So other teams, when they need to play them, they need to take a 3-hour bus drive. I actually think that's the reason they're so good.
Also, a lot of teams have said that it's really cold.
Yeah.
The Snake Pit.
Yeah, like, you definitely get acclimated to the arena you live in. You know, it's the same thing with any franchise sport in the NBA. Like, I believe the Denver arena, you know, the gravity is less.
They have less gravity over there. It's a higher altitude. The players play better in their own home turf. It's the same thing with a lot of sports, actually.
It's all about the aliens. I went to the LGD arena in Hangzhou. That was really nice. It's really cool because they've set up their arena to house them, basically all their different esports teams. Every single title that LGD represent in esports, they've got pictures of their players, merch for their players, everything is set up there. What people don't see is that it's in a mall, okay, like a shopping mall. Like, yes, for example, the Shanghai arena here is in the Super Brand Mall, a really big shopping mall in Shanghai, right on the Bund. Very nice location. Similar to LGD in Hangzhou, but it's not the type of mall you'd expect.
What do you mean?
It's a furniture mall.
Well,
so you can walk up from the first floor all the way to the 4th floor buying everything you need for your house in terms of furniture, and then you get to the last floor and it's the cinema as well as LGD's arena.
Hey, that's why they have the best chairs in the entire LPL.
Oh, they do. They've got massage chairs.
They are in a furniture mall. But
that makes sense.
That's the cool thing about China right now is wherever you see a mall, there's a very high chance that there will be an esports stadium inside the mall. Like, esports is a big thing, e-commerce is a big thing, and malls are lacking people. They actually have a very hard time getting people to walk in the door, so we're actually seeing tons of esports stadiums all over China being built in malls just to attract people, to get them out of their houses.
Because there's not too much reason in Shanghai to basically leave your home to go to a mall.
Physical shopping is actually a thing of the past in China at this point.
Like, I found it, because like I grew up in Singapore. E-commerce is a big thing there as well, where you can order basically anything you need, but it does come at a slight cost.
Yeah.
Not expensive. To our American viewers, might be like a $3 US delivery fee or something like to buy a meal, or if you get your groceries delivered, things like that. But coming here to Shanghai, things are just so quick. If you order something online, you can expect it to be there within the first
8 hours
3 days.
Usually the turnaround time.
8 hours the turnaround time, but if you don't get it on the day itself, 2 to 3 days it'll be there.
Yep. If you're buying from a buyer in Shanghai and you're located in Shanghai yourself, you can expect your package around 8 hours. That's how fast things move here. So a great city to be in. I think our entire casting crew has been pretty happy about this move here.
I live with Rusty and Frosker, and every night, if they're both out, you know, in the living room or having dinner or something, like clockwork, I'll walk out and be like, anyone want some fruits? Take out my phone and actually order fruits to the house. I'm like, this is amazing.
It is.
I don't have to walk 3 kilometers to go to the nearest fruit store. I just press a few buttons. I've got fruits in about 10 minutes. It's fantastic.
A couple of cool fans here in the stadium. They say that their target has been selected and they're ready for liftoff. Of course, hoping for, this is the Space Arena. They are hoping for Icon to take them towards the skies.
Elon Musk would be proud. Is it Elon Musk or Elon Musk?
I think it's Elon.
Oh, man. He's probably going to see this now and he's going to hate me. He's such a cool guy. I don't want him to hate me.
Elon sounds more Martian. That's
more Martian?
Yeah, that's where his name comes from. It actually comes from a sci-fi.
Really?
Yeah. And that's his goal in life. That's a
become a Martian.
great way.
Oh,
to colonize Mars.
The riot office in Shanghai is in a big office building, of course. Right below it, there is a Tesla store.
Oh yeah. No, electric cars are actually a big thing in China.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of.
I think it's their second biggest market for Tesla.
I just realized
we do give a lot of subsidies for electric cars.
I just realized something. I noticed this maybe my 2nd month into moving to China, which was because JD.com is such a big thing in China. There's even an esports team, JD Gaming, a big e-commerce website. I was trying to figure out what is it that I can't order on the website. I was like, surely you can't order a car. You can order a car.
Seriously?
You can go to JD.com and buy a car, and they'll deliver a car to you.
How does that? Okay, that
I don't know.
Sense.
I don't have that kind of money to throw into a car client.
Yeah.
But if I did, I would want to see how can I buy a car online.
There is pretty heavy tariffs for cars here, I believe. So
Do you get this for license plates as well, and they give you different access to certain highways, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah. I'm not actually sure. I don't have a car. I just take the subway. It's actually really great in Shanghai.
We should go talk to Mercedes.
Ooh, yeah.
Bench, please. 帮助我们可以吗? Please. We need an English casting team car.
Yeah, they do. They are mainly selling kind of like small cars for our audiences. Our audience, of course, mainly kind of like the 28 to 34 group. So
is that the core audience of the LPL?
Yeah, still is.
Wow.
Still 80% male or something. It's actually quite similar across the globe.
I thought it'd be much lower age group.
Oh, if you go lower though, it's mostly mobile games. It's actually harder to get a PC in terms of the dormitories that most people live in. So it is a more experienced group, and actually I think that bleeds into the actual gaming environment as well. The most toxic server I've played on is definitely EU West. 100% EU West. But then the second, like, China is actually very, very good in terms of the politeness on the servers. I was really surprised about that.
Except for when they realize that I'm not communicating to them in Mandarin, then my mum goes boom quite frequently. Quite frequently.
Oh, they don't leave the family members out at all. It's a very common place to ask about them.
What was it? There was some famous Chinese show where the insult was burn his house, beat up his mother. Something like that. I've had that thrown at me a few times, and I'm like, wow, okay, I'm sorry that I didn't give you blue buff on time. I am so sorry. Please do not burn my house down. Please don't beat up my mother. But it actually is.
It's a rare instance, of course.
It is a very, very nice server to play. It's very competitive, and there's, you know, rumors of if you play on the Korean server a lot of times, if the game goes south very early, people will open up mid and say, you know, game's over, let's go to the next one, don't waste my time. People fight back, try to, you know, come back in the match no matter what. It's pretty enjoyable to play on. Looking at you, Oceania. What are you monkeys doing? Come on.
I've never played on that server.
Oh,
Heard about you guys talk about it. Does not sound like a fun place to be.
What an experience.
Not sure.
I enjoyed when I duo queued with Frostgrid. As when we were like, we're plat 1, plat 2 at the time, duo queuing. Like, yeah, you know, let's play a couple of duo queue games. Walk into the match and we're like, that's Sin Juves, you know, the competitive jungler for an OPL team. Great. He's going to gank us 10 times in a row now.
So you guys actually, is it just because the server population is pretty small?
I'm guessing because of server population. I'm not too sure.
Playing against pros would not be a fun experience. You can't learn anything from it. They're just too much.
Yeah,
too far ahead.
No. I can learn something from it. I'm bad. When the World Championship was in. Oh yay! We're getting back in. We should be the same.
Game.
We should have the same picks, I've been told. So let's just let them run through it and see what happens then. But when the World Championship was last held in Korea, the group stage, one of the group stages was in Singapore. And when the players flew down, I got to play against Yellow Pete, and I can't remember what his support was. I got to play against them twice. That's on the tip of my tongue as well.
Come on. I know who he is, but I can't remember his name.
Yeah, it's on the tip of my tongue as well right now. Twitch chat's probably spamming who it was, but back when they were playing...
Crepo.
Yeah. Back when they were playing in Singapore. Was it? I can't remember. Back when they were playing in Singapore, I got to play against them twice. First time I learned that I was bad. Second time I learned that I should just quit playing League of Legends.
I actually played again with Froggen when he came to Taipei back in Season 2. Easiest game of my life. Had his Anivia, 17-0-1 scoreline. Didn't have to do anything for me. When you're playing with pros, it's actually great.
Really? All the pros I've ever played with, I just trolled the heck out of me. I'm like, nah.
Let's run through the ban picks a little once more, just for the viewers that didn't see it.
Same that we saw before. So it started with Aatrox, and then we saw Tomcatch Ashbeam picked up immediately by OMG, Braum, and then Graves coming up from FPX. Finally, a Malphite pick for OMG, and then from there is where we're like, okay,
yeah, we're not sure
what's going on. Now, if one of you picked the wrong champion again, I am personally going to put my microphone down, fly over to Chengdu, and smack you.
I would like to see that.
I will do it. Can I get there in time, you think?
It takes 3 hours.
If it goes to game 3, I'll get there.
Yeah, if they play some long games, definitely will.
So now the bans will come through. So Morgana being banned out from the side of OMG. Rise taken away by FPX. They're really targeting Icon's champion pool. Kai'Sa taken away from LWX. And it's joining the final ban. This is where we're not sure. First time we saw the Olaf pick, then we saw a Lulu pick. So it is going to be the Lulu pick for OMG.
It's a bit of a weird selection process. We usually see OMG hang on to the last pick just for Icon.
And then Kog'Maw being locked in for FPX as their AD carry of choice. With Karma.
Oh, okay. So this answers our question.
It is a gold funnel composition that's coming out from FPX. Or is it? No, it could just become a mid lane.
It could be, but I think it makes more sense if you have the like 2 hyper carries in a sense. So that way, yeah. So that way you have more targets that have to be focused down for OMG. If you only have the Kog'Maw, I actually think OMG has a very easy time just killing him. They have to Malphite the Ashe.
Well, let's see if they do actually funnel gold onto Graves or Kog'Maw, because double support's being picked up, 3 carries coming up from the side of FPX. Their final pick was Trundle in the jungle. So we have Lulu in the mid lane being picked up by Icon.
Huh. Alright. So, does look like FPX are... it's actually not certain. They could swap around their positions. We have seen Cool play in the bot lane instead of the mid lane. So they've been trying a lot of these things. It's not the first time they ran a similar gold funneling strategy. It's up in the air. Like the most common assumption would still be Karma going mid.
Yep, just being a mid lane champion. Like Lulu. Yep. Like Lulu's a support, but not a gold funneling support. You expect if that was Karma in the bottom lane, then yeah, it's going to be a gold funnel, but we'll have to see how they play it out. Because Graves is a champion that can take those resources. What do you think is the right way to actually run this composition?
I actually prefer the Braum in the mid lane, to be honest.
Okay.
I think you do give up a lot of early pressure, but it's a more stable composition in terms of the late game. You have 2 people you can rely on instead of the just 1. And also, Karma is still a better lane with Kog'Maw compared to Braum. So I would prefer that. We have seen them run this in the past. Cool has been playing into the bot lane position before, but I think the safer bet would still be for the Karma mid.
Oh, Clement. We were close. Up 230, 241 though we got in.
Yay,
11 minutes off.
40-minute analyst block.
We did it. We are top tier analysts of the world.
The Lulu Trundle does not make a lot of sense to me.
Why?
Because Trundle is actually considered is countered by the Graves. You cannot contest the Graves in any way. Graves will always get away.
Because he's ranged?
Yeah, he's ranged. He typically has a red buff, and of course the smoke screen that you have to walk through makes it basically impossible for you to catch up to him.
Can't see anything either. It's not fun.
And there are really no tanks on FPX's roster either, so the Trundle is a pick that I'm kind of surprised by. It's a pick that they do run quite frequently, but it is used for the dueling potential, and you don't have that potential in this draft. So I actually kind of feel like OMG was forced into it because of the prior drafts. I don't know the details of the technical difficulties that they were running into.
Tell me more about the Lulu though, because you said it was the combo. So we'll talk about that a bit more, because we're actually going to go on to Champions like for this first match. We got there, took us a little bit of time, but we will get into this game. OMG sticking with the Ashe Tahm Kench combination. We still see the Kog'Maw coming out from LWX, so playing it a hyper carry. It's a champion that he's well known for as well. Let's get on to the Rift. Game number 1. Look at Icon. Every time the crowd cheers, he spins around in a circle. That's nice. Good synergy coming out from OMG's mid laner. FunPlus Phoenix as well. Guys, blue side first, 3 chants each. Not blue side 7 chants and then let OMG. Come on! It's a democracy. It's not anarchy here. We chant together as one as the LPL. Come on.
Yep. Bit fewer FPX fans, of course, but strong level 1 coming in from FPX.
OMG's arena, much blah, can't do words at the moment, Clint. It is OMG's arena, so there will be a few FPX fans, but good invade coming out from FPX. Stop Mountain from taking his own red buff at level 1. Mountain just gives it up. He takes a bit of damage, has a rejuvenation bead for himself, so should be just fine. Heads straight over towards his own blue buff.
Huh. This is quite an interesting strategy. They're actually giving up the first wave for LWX, but having him take the Krug camp early on. It's the first time we've seen someone try to equalize that first wave this way.
That's a strategy we haven't seen in a long time. Taking the small Krug, I believe he did. Yep, took quite a bit of damage for it as well, but doesn't get too much gold, just a little bit of experience. Takes a lot of damage in terms of hit points though. That's a strategy that actually made Krug get changed. When Cool getting ganked, he didn't know that Mountain was waiting the wings. Alex is here as well, already forced to flash, so OMG get an early summoner spell against Cool.
Both sides basically had the same idea, but this is going to let Alex actually control his bottom side of the jungle. So he's starting out with 3 quadrants compared to the 1 from Mountain.
Getting a lot of access to farm, but we've already answered that first question, Clement, which is Karma going to gold funnel? Answer is no. She's already picked up 12 CS for herself. We haven't seen Alex move into the lane. Makes sense. That's kind of, we've seen Karma quite frequently in the mid lane. Picking up ability power-based items, and the do-si-do coming out from Mountain here. Like ships in the night, Clement, they just pass by each other. Alex now has no idea. Chris is rotating up here. Doesn't matter. Too little, too late. Red buff's gone.
Yep. OMG did get their push on the bottom side from the level 1 roam of Braum, so they are able to get get 5, into position to contest the red buff. I would say that play mainly snowballed off the back of Cool's miscalculation. He did have to expend his flash and teleport very early on just to avoid the level 2.
So gives him a slight advantage there, but we check it with the top side of the map. Gimgoon against Sion. Pick up the Malphite, Grasp of Undying, as well as the Boots and Tonic Potion, so he's gone for Corrupting Pot nice and early, gets the extra movement speed from that rune. Ooh. Getting good damage to the Gimgoon. Gimgoon might be in a bit of trouble here. Grasp Prop connects, but the Goon squad of FPX is here. Flash forward, locking down, trying to get the tether as well. Alex jumps in, but hits a turret! Oh, the red buff's not going to be enough, and the turret gets in the way of Graves.
You never do that as a Graves. What was he thinking about? That was a bit unfortunate flash from Alex right there, and it does take away a lot of his early domination. Now the Trundle can actually contest him. He has the extra flash on him.
On top of that, Icon got a push going in the mid lane tonight. It's a cannon wave. Clears out all of these minions, and already forced Cool back to base earlier. Cool's gone back, picked up a second Dark Seal. He's fallen behind 10 CS and has no teleport for himself.
Yeah, this is a bad start for Cool right here. Typically, we do see the Karmas go for the Luden's Echo early on, just for the extra lane push. It is a item that you want to spike your power on, so getting denied early does hurt quite a bit.
But a very poor start coming out from FPX means they fall behind about 200 gold. Not drastically, but now they've got a definite advantage when it comes to tempo at the start of this match. Lethal tempo was actually picked up by both of these AD carries. LWX debuting, sorry, we've already seen it a couple times. Picking up Kog'Maw as his hyper carry of choice for FPX.
So I just want to talk about FPX composition a little. I don't think they're a straight up 5v5 protect the Cog composition. They don't really have the front line to do it. So what FPX is looking to set up is play more of a 4-1 split push style. They really need Gimgoon ahead, and that's why they're investing so many resources in.
But they've been able to lock down Cool again. There's no flash available for Karma, but does get the final tether. Make sure that Trundle can't get any more damage onto him. But again, Karma being sent back to base once more.
Terrible news for her once again.
Is it going to matter too much though? Because you identified that that's not the main source of where the carries come from.
Yeah, but on the flip side, I don't think you want Icon to go too far ahead. I think Icon's going to go the rookie route with his build.
Oh, but they're being able to lock down Gimgoon. Gimgoon looking to try and get the blood well available. Doesn't get it in time at first blood. Picked up by Sion.
A lot expended for that first 3v1 kill on the top lane, but they did not find Xiang at all, and Xiang gets the easy return here.
Ooh, Icon taking quite a bit of damage here. Locked down, Cool, forcing him to use Glitter Lance, and Alex pops over the wall. Icon being very aggressive, trying to shut down Cool even further, but in doing so takes way too many turret shots there.
Yep. was trying to go for the Faker, which is constantly harassing someone when they're trying to back and getting a lane lead for that, but he was called out on that. I think it was, to be honest, I don't think he should have been that aggressive, especially when his jungler just swept through the top side and found out that Graves wasn't there. So a bit of a misplay there. Could have held on to his advantage a bit more.
Mountain actually gets the jump onto Alex.
He has
the
the flash.
Attack is ticking, and a good pillar comes out of Mountain. Flash goes forward, nom nom nom. Jump goes the Trundle, and Mountain gets a solo kill onto Alex.
And everything is snowballing off of that first failed attempt from FPX right there. They are trying to play the 4-1. Getting Aatrox ahead is incredibly important for their composition, but when you don't make that work, everything then goes to OMG's way.
They made sure that Mountain had a good start in the jungle despite his red buff being taken away at level 1. Followed up with him stealing his own red, now tracking this Graves quite well. Almost feels like FPX now solely relying on LPX in the bottom lane. Having a good laning phase so far against P's Ashe.
I have to say I don't envy his job as the sole carry of the team at this point. He's fighting against a Malphite and an Ashe Arrow.
Ooh.
The best position for a Kog'Maw with a Karma Shield is actually in the front line. But you can't play in the front line when you're up against this type of composition.
Ashe is going to teleport back into the lane. Ignite is ticking onto 5 and exhausted onto LWX. Alex going to try and join this one too. P wants to keep going, but they get the kill onto 5. Good flash, however, coming out from Ashe to get back to safety.
Alright, that was a horrible play from 5. He absolutely mistimed how fast the teleport would come down towards the bot lane, and they had no idea of where the jungle actually was. So that was a complete throw on 5's side.
That's a stopwatch available now as well, but probably not worth it to use in that situation with the gank coming out from Graves. P stays alive, burns his summoner spells, however, does get a good back to base with picking up the Bilgewater Cutlass. LWX with his own kill. Berserk Greaves, nice and early. Looking towards the components of what seems to be a Blade of the Ruined King first.
We are seeing this being the primary item for a lot of Kog'Maws as well as the Ashe. If I was 5, I wouldn't even flash there. Like, once you see the Graves, you know you're dead either way. Like, save it. It was a boneheaded play. Don't go into the sunken cost fallacy.
Costs him his summoner spells and his life, which is unfortunate, but that's the first part of the map we've actually seen FPX being able to attack against OMG. But for now, it's just been a stalemate. So you're talking about how FPX really want these hyper carries to come online. Graves will have a lot of damage. Aatrox should be able to deal a lot of damage with LWX. Cool and Chris protected. And what do we see from OMG? They've gone for a lot of hard initiation and a couple of supports as well.
I think OMG's composition is a lot easier to execute. It's basically a 5v5, and whenever you see Kog'Maw in the front line, you just instantly engage. But P in a very bad position here.
Caught out, no ultimate available, no flash available. 5 tries to save him. Teleports are coming in for FPX to continue this fight as well. Stopwatch being used by Tom Kench. Has great health available, but P falls first. 5 may be able to get out alive as the pillar will be able to stop the rest of FPX from advancing. They lose their AD carry.
Consecutive mistakes coming out from OMG's bot lane. This should not be happening. Actually, Ashe and the Tom Kent should have a fairly easy time in getting away from the composition. They do have the slow, but just being caught out repeatedly in no man's land where FPX can rotate first. That's it's a weird chain of decision making. I also really dislike the position that 5 let out the Ashe. He could have spit him over the wall instead.
Was not able to do so. May have run straight into that teleport coming out from Karma as well, but it's a kill nonetheless. They still get the pick.
Could have been P's decision right there as well.
Yep.
A little bit unfortunate in this case. They're actually going to give up the bot lane tower purely because of mistakes.
So this has just been a game of mistakes so far, it seems. Bottom lane is going to fall in favor of FPX. They now take the gold lead for themselves, but the early game was in favor of OMG through FPX's mistakes, top side of the map. Top against bottom at the moment. Mount's going to try and do what he can to pick up Rift Tower for himself.
It's always an uncomfortable situation when you have your Tom Kench and Ashe locked into the bot lane. If these guys get ahead, they have a lot of global pressure. If they fall behind, however, a lot of times they need to use their own ultimates to get back to lane or to secure their survival in terms of the laning phase. So this is a lot worse than it seems on paper. It has a lot of effects for the mid game where FPX should be able to dominate.
Chris flashing forward. That's very aggressive from FPX. Even Cool joining as well. They lock down Mountain. Good damage. Lulu Ultimate comes through and he's dead. They got the Rift Herald, but a surprise gank comes out of FPX.
Good follow-up from Chris right there. Very difficult to get away from him, especially with the Winter's Fight slow. And OMG, the entire map will continue to pay the price for those bot lane mistakes.
Icon now taking some damage, but you're right. Bottom side is starting to pay for those mistakes. LWX, 2 kills being picked up on this Kog'Maw already. Blaze Rage. That's what I was going to say. Blaze Rage, Clement.
Your new item.
Rage
Blade. Storm Razors and Blade of the Ruin King.
Rage Blade as well as Berserker Greaves have been picked up by LWX. Shunshampi still sitting on his own Berserker Greaves.
Small correction there. Of course, that is the Blade of the Ruin King.
Oh, goodness sake. I said it wrong the first time, and I corrected myself into even... Yeah, I hate that item now. That item's banned. Oh, Shunshampi. Taking a bit of damage, but good save coming out from 5. Keeps him safe. Don't face checky bushes.
I mean, they have no vision of anyone on the bot side. This really shouldn't continuously happen to the bot lane. Of course, FunPlus only played 1 series with OMG so far. The communication with 5 might not be on point so far.
No, it might not. But his Ash arrows have been on point. We haven't seen any of them in this match. FPX attacking that bottom side of the map means that Shunshampi hasn't had the opportunity to use his Ash arrows. However, OMG throwing Rift Herald into the mid lane, looking to push for the first turret for themselves, and they're going to be able to get it, equalizing the gold.
Also does open up the map quite a bit. I do expect this to be somewhat of a slow game. There are 2 teams that do want to scale up in terms of course, their ADC items, and for FPX, they want to wait for Aatrox to be able to split push, so... Ooh. Never mind.
Icon getting locked down again. Uses the stopwatch at the same time Winter's Bite. That's going to be enough to protect him. Shunshampi as well as 5. Collapsing into the fight as well. Chris.
No flash on Chris.
Throws out his own ultimate to stop them and delay them, but delay them is all you can do. Icon picks up the kill.
And this is why the combination of the Tahm Kench and the Ashe has been so prevalent in the LPL. You can make global plays incredibly easily. He did not have to fire the arrow first. In fact, he could just fire it after he landed, ensuring a long CC duration and an instant kill.
And he picks it up. So OMG able to fight back. Good use of the stopwatch coming from Icon as well at the perfect time. Haha, great pun. Perfect timing from Icon to make sure that Winter's Bite doesn't connect and gives enough time for OMG to react to that play being made in the mid lane. Get it. Drake drops a new album and Mountain Dragon drops as well. OMG pick up the first one of the match. Now moving in towards mid lane, knocking back Cool, gets good damage, no flash available for him, but just to be able to slow him down. Xiang jumps in as well, that's a bit overkill, but OMG find another pick for themselves.
Yep, and I think a lot of these plays have been Xiang following up very well from the bot lane. Kim Goon hasn't been able to apply enough pressure to keep him in lane. FPX trying to equalize.
Trying to lock down Shunshampi, and 5 LWX flashing forward, gets the stun, but now everyone's going to try and collapse into this lane. Flash away from 5, Chris hitting the turret. Cancelled teleport coming out from OMG. Means that FPX get the objective they came for.
Yep, that was Xiang's teleport cancelled from the bottom lane. Enough damage coming out from the Alex to finish off that tower.
It's been, I'm not going to say chaotic because it hasn't really been a chaotic game, but different. The laning phase has just been completely disrupted. We've approached mid-game and it just seems like these teams are finding picks here and there.
Yeah, it's the tempo of the game feels very off because things are happening too fast. Basically, a lot of the mistakes snowballed very heavily from both teams, and we're looking at 15 minutes where the map is essentially wide open, and both teams are trying to farm up, but at the same time, there's so much space for them to make plays as well. So it feels a bit off. It feels that they're playing faster than they should in places that we don't really expect.
Yep. And from that, it just means it's meant that it's been an even game because they're attacking based on the side of the map that has made those mistakes. It's trying to capitalize and put more pressure down on the opposite side, but because they're opposite sides of the map, both teams be able to fight back. Decided OMG probably not too worried because their bottom lane was one that faltered. They provide a ton of utility, but for FPX top side there's 2 carries, bottom side only 1.
Just to give this game a little bit more structure, what FPX are waiting for is the Aatrox split push. He will be able to do that once he gets the Rage Blade. It's going to give him a little bit of a magic damage to his profile as well. Of course, getting the Conquerors down there helps immensely against tanks.
The Blade Trade will be a big pickup, but there's a big fight in the mid lane. He not able to assist 5. Lockdown, can't even use the great health for himself.
That was just too easy. Honestly, like, 5 with no flash, 3rd time being caught out in the middle of nowhere.
That was a good dash coming out from Alex. Gets away from the ground slam of Xiang, denying the auto attack. Sorry, the auto attack speed debuff. But you're right, a little bit too easy for FPX there. Catching out 5, out of position. Chantropy tried to kite it back, but just didn't do enough with the Braum Shield.
I mean, he's going up against a Kog'Maw with a red buff and a Blade of the Ruin King, and he turns around and tries to lick people. I mean, that's just... 5, hello! he has not been playing well this game. Like, just way too many just careless mistakes. That's completely unnecessary.
Very different coming out from 5 as well. We normally know him to be one of the solid supports in the LPL, especially for the side of OMG.
It's been the main initiator. Tahm Kench is his best champion by far.
Just an off game, and players have off games. We see it all the time. It actually looked like Ning was having a very off game last night against RNG. It's same as sports, really. I mean, Messi had 2 poor performances at the World Cup. Did well in Game 3. Rip Argentina after last night. I was upset.
I'm upset about this game. Like,
why are you upset about this game?
I feel like I've put up a good narrative for OMG to follow. They have a great 5v5. You know, they did the early game really well, and then they threw most of it away by plays that there was nothing to analyze there. You know, it's like so 5 walked up and died, and he did it 3 times just in one game. We're not even at 20 minutes.
No. Soon.
And it's like throwing the entire structure of the game out the window and say, hey guys, I'm going to decide our fate. I'm going to be the difference maker in this game, but not in a good way.
Just follow the, you know, the LPL approach to everything. Build your narrative and then expect that 80% of the time that's not going to happen.
I'm really upset, you know. As an analyst, we expect games to go one way.
That's not the moment. Game's still dead even. Gold's about 1,000 in favor of FPX. Next Dragon's going to spawn in a minute. Baron shortly before that.
And it's gonna be an Infernal Drake. I think this is going to go in FPX's favor. The 2-item spike is much stronger for the Kog'Maw compared to the Ashe. If he gets his Guinsoo Rage Blade and the Bork, it's much better than the typical Zeal item and the Bork we see from the Ashe. Of course, you can't synergize crit if you're going Bork first. So much better item build for LWX, and of course they are ahead in terms of the carry items.
It should just be a Hurricane, Ashe looking to attack multiple targets, make use of her focus. Whereas for the side of LWX, he'll be happy with his 2-item power spike. Gimgoon.
Ooh, Gimgoon walking into this.
Takes some damage, but he's okay. Mountain spots out Alex as well as Chris rotating. 5 and P. Going to rotate down. Is it me? Oh no. Sorry. I was going to say, is it me? Or is his name actually just Shenchen? But I realized that the screen that we're looking at just cuts off the last 2 letters of his name.
He's definitely Shenchen P. That is his actual name, and he just kind of doubles the characters as he sees fit. Sometimes it's PP Shen, sometimes it's Shenchen P. And like we expected, stronger power spike on FPX's side. OMG.
Easy Dragon.
Yeah. They just don't want to contest at this point.
OMG tried to capitalize on them being split with the Tahm Kench ultimate, but they couldn't catch anyone off guards. Once FPX grouped, not much you can do there at the moment. So where are OMG looking for their power spikes? If LWX has spiked now, where do OMG spike?
I would say...
never.
Yeah, they're not really about power spiking. They're more about the compositional counter. So if it comes to a 5v5 late game and the two teams are on even gold, I do expect OMG to have a much higher win rate in terms of 5v5 team fighting and the late game as well. Having a frontline and engage tool really destroys champions like Aatrox, it destroys champions like Graves, and it leaves very little room for LWX to actually operate. So as long as OMG hang on, they don't get dragged out of the gold by like 10k, they're fine.
If they hold on.
Yeah.
You said though it is FPX's power spikes now. Everyone's going back to base, picking up a couple more items. Even like QSS complete for the side of LWX. Cool going for the Luden's Echo first. Now has an Ardent Sensor for himself. Buffing up this Cogball even further. Protect the Puppy is definitely online for FPX. Curious to see what they're going to be able to fight over. They've got an Infernal Dragon for themselves. Potentially they can set up around Baron and try and force a fight there.
Would be pretty dangerous. I do think they want the Gimgoon split push to start working in their favor. They could try to burn a teleport from Xiang first before they go for that play.
But he's still split pushing, still has teleport available for himself. And instead FPX decide they're going to try and take control over the red side of OMG's jungle. Pushing through mid lane. OMG still have a few people here. Ash Arrow can threaten this composition, but FPX set up around Baron. They've got the vision control.
Hard bait. I disagree with what FPX are doing here. I think they need to use the split push instead of grouping up because there's a blue trinket on Ash and she has 2 hawk shots a minute. Like, you're not going to get... There's basically no scenario where OMG should be walking into a face check. And FPX should read that. They should go back, enforce the split push.
Yeah, but they might. There's always the possibility that they run into...
If Shenshun is actually horrible, then yes, but I don't think he is.
No. He's already got his Hurricane available as well, so we'll be able to attack multiple targets with the Frost Bolts. Instead even, FPX still setting up for Baron. OMG still looking to make that pick. However, the change now is they have that split push. That is there now. Gimgoon is going up against Xiang.
And we do see Xiang going for the potential Triforce as well, just like Let Me did yesterday. Gives him a lot of fueling power against the Aatrox, and the reason why he's a counter is if the Malphite gets far enough, ahead far enough, he can actually shut down the Aatrox completely. It's not like a Fiora matchup where Fiora will always come online at 3 items. It's very different the way these two work. The attack speed slow helps immensely, and it is a matchup where Malphite can just win.
Oh, actually going aggressive against Gimgoon as well. Killed before the Bloodwell, crowd controlled to death. OMG get another kill for themselves. Are they on Baron? They're on Baron. They're going to try and capitalize on Icon not being there.
There is a teleport, however, from
Force
the bot lane.
A teleport out of Xiang. He's going back to base, but he's on top of wards. 5,000 hit points. Mountains here. Get flashed into the pit. Do they stop damage? But now it's stopped. But Ash Arrow is going to connect from Shenshun P. Xiang joins the fight. Flash is available. Could go for a 4-man knockup, but instead, Baron's so low. They keep aggro for now. They might just try to take it for themselves. Mountains inside the pit.
5v4.
Alex going to try and go in against his former enemy from the elements. Does he get it? No, he doesn't.
No.
Mountain's going to take it away for OMG. They turn onto the cockball. Shenshun P gets the double kill. And big turnaround of the fight for OMG.
I have to say that was a horrible play from FPX. They were fighting a 4v4. The Malphite did have the teleport. And even without the Malphite ult, there was enough hard CC that they would have been trapped inside the Baron pit if they wanted to go for that play. So I think they needed to cut their losses right there instead of going for the risky Baron play immediately, and it backfires.
Did backfire, and OMG just marched straight down mid lane. Shenshun P moving forward aggressively. Good damage onto Chris. Gimgoon and Cool can't hold off this OMG squad.
We'll lose the inhibitor for it.
Inhibitor's gone. Bottom lane, outer turret's ready to be taken. Inner turret's still there as well. Cool's actually going to try and stop them from getting back to base. Darkflight comes out from Gimgoon, trying to lock him down. Icon in trouble. Good pillar coming up from Mountain, as well as a save from 5. Can they get out alive, however? Because LWX is here, teleported into this matchup. Scrying over spots out Shenshun P. Couple of members going to go back to base and start it. Oh! Chris gets in. The big biceps flexes once again. Now Shenshun P needs to try and kite away from this. Get out of this somehow. He's going to teleport. Can he get out in time? They find him, but they kill him before the teleport completes.
Unfortunate play from OMG right there. They actually split up to take the Raptors. I would have preferred if they backed out together, but good on FPX for realizing that potential opportunity to get themselves back in the game.
Denies a few teleports, but still a massive lead for OMG. Here's that fight once more.
Did come down really close to the wire, but FPX were on the back foot starting from the fight. They get a bit of damage on P. No damage to follow up there. Great exhaust onto the Kog'Maw. Takes away most of his W timing, and they lose the smite in the meantime.
LWX, the shotgun, so close to the opposition. It was quite easy to take him down. He does, however, sneak an Infernal Dragon away for FPX, so they have 2. But they're up against a 4,000 gold lead that's been picked up by OMG. Banner of Command even complete for Tahm-Kench. Double BF sword. Locked in for P. And Athene's. Sorry, not, yeah, and Athene's and an Ardent Sensor being picked up by Icon, with the Ziggs Harbinger being picked up by Mountain. So they can buff up this AD carry quite nicely.
We've seen Icon go on the Lulu only 2 times this split, and both times he's done very, very well. Typically you're an assassin player, but he's realized that if you want to play a 5v5 in the late game, you have to support your other teammates as well. So good on him to stay away from the rookie build and actually build toward getting P to carry.
Well, OMG going to try and see if they can push through bottom lane now. Banner of Command, Banner of Command, Banner Minion, Banner of Command, Baron Minion is available. Chip away at this turret. 5 members strong. They're going to start pushing towards the base. Aatrox is recalling, trying to get back in there as well.
I like the idea of grouping up preemptively. Aatrox is nowhere near threatening a tower, so they do get the drop on FPX. And the 5v5 is where they should be incredibly good.
They're going to continue pushing here. Banner of Command, Cannon Minion, getting good damage. Chris throws up the shield to stop the shots onto the turret. Now taking poke. LPX is going to poke away at it as well. P actually stepping forward, and LPX stepping forward as well. 5. Forced to save his AD carry. Spits him back out at about half health. FPX not going to push any further forward. OMG settle for the chip damage they got on the turret, but continue pushing through.
I don't think P without flash should have been the one blocking for the Bandit cannon. They definitely could have had someone else sit in front of the cannon, but you know, P wants to prove his worth as a new member of the team. Puts them in a very precarious situation. Ooh. Whoa!
Very.
Yeah.
Very risky.
All right, calm down, P. I think you're taking way too many risks. Have someone do it for you. It's fine.
But he now has his Infinity Edge complete on this Ashe, so good item power spike for P.
This is the P special, basically. Does get the 60% crit from the Hurricane. Remember, as long as you have more than 20% crit, the IE is worth it.
Ooh, Gimgoon being locked down with a Pillar of Build, but Ashe Arrow doesn't connect. Now Exhaust is ticking. Guardian Angel is active for Gimgoon through the blood well. They kill Aatrox to start.
Ashe is still far away, not in the fight.
But they try to turn this one around. Xiang going to be able to get that solo kill against Gimgoon, it seems. Bloodwell is wearing off, uses his own stopwatch. One smack from the Malphite.
Still has the unstoppable.
And he's able to pick up that kill on the back of the fight itself. OMG get that single kill, going to continue pushing top side of the map.
I think they could have gone even deeper onto that fight, but decided to back out. That's just the catch potential once again from the Tahm-Kench and the Ashe.
I mean, Ashe didn't even hit the arrow, but it still worked out.
Yeah, you can just transport so many members in at the same time.
Well, that's another Banner of Command minion. No Baron available now, but OMG going to push in towards the base and try and get damage onto these turrets. LWX is here. Aatrox is not alive at the moment. Mounts in the first tower. Chris uses his own ultimate just to try and stop them pushing into the base of FPX. They hold on to 2 more structures, but OMG are chipping away at the base slowly but surely.
That was a good wave clear from Pool. He recognized that his primary objective was actually just to stop the push rather than punish the players. Malphite still had his ult. If they went in there was a real chance that the game would just end. So, very clever on his RQ usage, just to shove the wave away.
Stop. Stop it!
Oh no! Please, cool. Don't fall for this. Don't. Oh, he's dead.
No, cool. Not like this. Pops the stopwatch. Stays alive a bit longer. Gonna flash into a wall.
No! Why would you try to flash there?
No, cool. That's not cool.
I can't believe they actually got that pick. There was no reason that Cole needed to go up so far to actually clear the way. And, you know, recognizing patterns for OMG. Good call.
Yep, able to actually wait inside the brush, get a pick for themselves. Importantly, the mid laner from FPX means they take a second inhibitor. Mid lane inhibitor did respawn, but they break another part of the base.
I want to say this isn't the first time this split that we've seen Cool actually get picked off right outside of that brush. So, good call on OMG. They definitely went through the VODs and they said, you know, Cool is the guy that will pick up the wave right next to the rush. So let's just wait here for him, you know. Sometimes VOD review is actually incredibly helpful.
Just to understand what Cool's gonna do?
Yeah, it is. That's what Mata used to say, that he would watch VODs all the time just to get a feel of like what the players actually, like their habits.
Does he juke left? Does he juke right? Does he not juke at all? Does he do the 600 IQ juking of juking the juke that jukes you? All that stuff, right, Clement?
Yep, pretty much.
Baron's up and online, and immediately OMG decide that it's their time to try and set up around the objective. Control ward's being dropped down.
All right, that has to be an F on communication. So Chris right there had to replace his control ward because someone else placed it in the spot that he didn't. It's like, do better, guys.
They might get the jump here onto Alex, but Siyoung's not into the fight. Everyone from the side of FPX grouped up.
I believe OMG could just straight up start the fight and win.
Siyoung's here. Felt like he had opportunity earlier, but decided not to take it.
Chris, his positioning is very good here. He's keeping himself at the front, so even if they ult, it's only one person.
That's sneaky. Shen P as well as Icon started up the Baron as a duo. They're not taking any damage whatsoever. Icon is going to be helping him, buffing him. They have no idea. They have to go back to base. The Super Minions in that base alone, so OMG just get a free Baron. What a play.
Great acting from Xiang.
Throws out the Ash Arrow, connects. This might be a
stop them
fight.
from going to back.
QSS immediately being used coming up from FPX. They could just be trying to stop those recalls, get more damage onto the Nexus turrets with the Super Minions that are pushing in. OMG now Baron buff though. They're going to be happy with what they picked up. They're going to be able to push further into the base against FPX.
It's going to be a last-ditch attempt from FPX. They don't have the better composition, but Kog'Maw with double Infernals can make miracles happen.
And he's actually going to go! What? The shotgun! Kill Shen P! FPX survive for now, but they only get the single pick onto Ash.
That was too easy! The Ash even had the flash! And where was 5?
Where was 5? Where was Icon?
What was that? Alright, this bottom lane from OMG today, there's something wrong about this bottom lane. Their communication is... Oh, it's just incredibly bad, to be honest.
Gets picked off randomly by FPX. They're setting up for the game-winning push as well. It's not going to hurt too much. OMG will respawn with teleport available, but less time on the Baron buff to work with. Gave FPX some time to farm a bit more and get a few more items. Siyoung, however, at 6 items at the moment.
Oh, wow. Just look at that item spike from Kog'Maw, by the way. Woo. The Essence Reaver is done. He's going to have the Bio Arcane Barrage on the entire time. Like, if they don't actually kill Kog'Maw on the first rotation, there is a good chance now with double Infernal in this trio item spike for LWX to single-handedly win the game for them.
It's also going to be much more difficult for OMG to push in now, because that first wave they pushed in when Chochopi got picked off was when they used the Banner of Command, the wave itself. They only have one being picked up by 5, went for the Knight's Vow second to protect Chochopi even further. You actually have to protect him though, 5.
That was mainly on Chochopi, to be honest.
He was stepping way too far forward.
But seeing no Devourer on that play was also quite puzzling.
No Devourer coming out from 5, no ultimate coming out from Icon. Interesting, but now it's going to be really difficult to kill LWX as well, because there is a Ziggs Harbinger being picked up by Braum, so lots of extra damage. Shirelli's being picked up by Cool in the mid lane with the Ardent Saucer. So good buffs coming up, but he's also got his own stopwatch, and he has the Mercurial Scimitar. FPX will truly have good late game now.
Yep, they truly do. We're seeing a lot of difficulty for OMG actually pushing in anymore. know, they put themselves in this position where everything can come down to one single team fight, and all of the base towers, the Nexus, they're easy enough to take down in a single blow, where I actually feel like this game has just reset itself.
Yep. This doesn't feel like a match now where OMG are in firm control. 6,000 gold lead for OMG, and that's it. They're going to try and break that bottom lane inhibitor turret. That's going to fall, so all the inhibitor turrets are gone.
Oh,
Shen completely wide. Misses the arrow, can't lock down Crisp.
But we see Xiang doing the split pushing this time.
So that's another inhibitor falling. One in the mid lane, one in the top lane. Now bottom lane is all OMG have left to siege.
Here's where FPX absolutely need to make a stand. They cannot let this inhibitor go. I think they have to be the one that's aggressive and go for the fight on the side that the Malphite isn't at.
Yeah, but it's only one side for OMG to attack. That's bottom lane at the moment. Inhibitor's going to respawn, but OMG lose Baron buff during this time.
I do like OMG's decision to back off. The Malphite was cut off on the top side of the base, so they didn't want a potential, like a power ball, the death ball of FPX to just roll them on their 4-man. Decide to regroup and throw another angle at them.
Okay. Now we've got 3 people attacking the top side of the map, allowing Malphite to split push against Aatrox. He talked about this counter matchup, so if that's true, Xiang's going to be able to deal a lot of damage to Kimku, but everyone FPX is going to collapse into the bottom lane, tagging Xiang, but it's okay. And slowly Super Minions are going to crash in towards the nexus of FPX. OMG taking this one very slow, finding an opportunity for the fight itself. Xiang with damage onto the inhibitor, Kim looking for the fight as well.
FPX really lacking the engage to make use of their opportunity. They should be going on the 3-man on the top side, but they just don't have the tools to do so.
They got it. They got that final inhibitor. Xiang just says, "See you, mate. I'm out. Peace." Next time.
Great play by OMG here. I really like the way they shifted their 4-1 in reverse, basically. And FPX, they just got caught off guard. They didn't have the call to go in immediately on the 3-man on the top side. I believe that's the play they needed to do. It could have been like a flash slow from Cool. It could have been a flash in from Crisp. But they needed to pull the trigger. Absolutely needed to pull the trigger there. But now they're staring at 3 inhibitors down.
With Baron spawning in a minute, and Elder Dragon. Words! I can't do words today, Clement. I'm very upset. Elder Dragon in a minute and 40, Baron in a minute. That's what's coming back up. And OMG have control over the area of the neutral objectives, whereas for the side of FPX, they have to fight against Super Minions from the top and bottom lane. Thankfully, their mid lane inhibitor has respawned. I think it's going to be able to pick up a blue buff, but Bloodthirster already complete for Ashe means that these 280 carries are quite equal when it comes to items, both of them packing a stopwatch as well for good measure.
These timers are horrendous for FPX. They're staggered in the way that OMG can pick up the Baron and then simply swoop down and take down the other Drake. Will be the first Elder Drake.
It will be the first Elder Drake. Both teams have 2. You'd think that FPX would want it a bit more because they have the Infernal Dragon available and they're already winning a couple of these fights. Zeke's Harbinger being complete by the Braum means that LPX is going to get buffed up even further when it comes to damage dealt.
Ooh, this is very difficult for FPX. I think they need to give up the entire map because they could simply teleport. OMG could teleport into the base and finish the game at this point. Ashe has teleport and Xiang has teleport.
Right, instead Chris is going to collapse first. Shenjun helping out with taking down all the wards that are just outside the Baron pit. FPX really want to fight for this.
Lulu's
going say, you know what? We can just wait. Lulu has to push mid lane. Xiang's moving over towards the inhibitor, but they've caught out Shenjun. Damage, but they can't do anything. Xiang says, alright, Kim Goon, you want to protect this inhibitor? I'm just going to take it. Everyone from the side of FPX trying to go back to base. Xiang wants to take this, and OMG just putting a lot of pressure, different points of the map. They're tearing them between, they can't decide! Make up your minds, FPX!
FPX, you need to fight at your Nexus towers, and you need the 5v5. This is not going to work for you. You don't have the engage.
FPX, they're going to try and burn Baron. Desperate Baron never fails. Saint Vicious, 20-something.
If I'm Shenjun, I teleport to the base now.
Oh, you're not Shen P, and Shen P says, you know what? I'm just gonna fight these Muppets inside the Baron Pit. 3,000 hit points. Teleport coming in from the Malphite.
Malphite comes back.
Alex is going to get it. Aatrox is gonna teleport in as well. FPX, what the heck's going on? Now Shen P is going. Oh, what?
Too late.
This is a disaster.
Why would you
can't watch it anymore.
Oh my god.
I can't watch this.
OMG, why do it now?
FPX with Baron, they've killed Shen P.
They have empowered back timers. What? Oh my, and they're gonna give them Elder Drake too. Oh, this is the biggest fumble I've ever seen. What are you doing, OMG? The play was so simple. Shen P teleports to the base. You take the game with 2 mana of Malphite and Ashe, and the rest of the members make sure FPX cannot go home. That's all. That's all you needed to win the game. You lost the Baron, you lost the Elder Dragon, and now you lose the team fight as well. What are you doing? Oh, why did they commit to the play? That was so bad. Why? Oh my, oh my God. It's a fitting expression.
Oh, Mountain gets blast coned over. Back to red buff. OMG don't pick the fight. Treasure P says, you know what, I can finish this match. It's not like there's an Aatrox standing right there or anything. No, it's fine. Okay, I'm dead.
They have empowered recalls. It takes them 4 seconds to get back to base. You lost the fight. You can't chase them on the Baron side. And then you decide to teleport back. The decision making is atrocious from OMG.
What is going on? FPX. They hold on to... What are you doing, Icon? Stop glitter lancing everywhere.
I think he wants to try and finish it. Yeah, he's going for it!
Oh.
Is he?
He can't though. There's still one Nexus turret available.
Okay,
He
never
can't just
mind.
go
There
for
is
the
no
end. He's
minion
going
wave
for the
either.
inhibitor. Icon! You get that.
It's so slow.
No one's going back to base. FPX said, you know what? You can take our inhibitors. We're just going to try and finish the game ourselves.
This is... So OMG,
this does help them though. Means that now they have 2 super minions spawning on every wave, but Icon has to get back to base. He hasn't started recalling it. 8 seconds from now. That's when he's going to get there. FPX say, you know what? Let's just try and push through. First turret just melts. FPX take down the first. They're onto the second one already. That's going to fall. They collapse onto core. Good damage. Nexus is bare, but it's a final fight. Game good in the back lines. Shen P being protected. LWX left untouched to battle the 80 carries.
Down goes down.
But it's going to become one of the Nexus. They got it! FPX with the comeback! I cannot believe it!
Oh, so many bad decisions this game. Oh, my mind hurts. My mind hurts, but great tenacity from the FPX. Great read, calling Icon's bluff. It's like you don't have the Banshees built. You're not going to take the base in time. And OMG, even with the better 5v5 composition and an inhibitor tower to defend, they give it up for the Icon play. Why? What are you doing? Icon, please. There was no way that FPX should have won the game.
No way.
Came back from 7.8k. Oh, man.
That's just silly. I mean, 7.8k, sure, that's a number that is doable, but in the way that it was done, just...
You know,
you said it best. You did say it best. Baron was started like, okay, they're either going to fight, or they're just going to teleport into the base. They chose, let's not fight, then teleport into the base.
Like, they chose the worst possible decision-making.
Yes.
And they teleported into the base when everyone was able to recall from FunPlus Phoenix. What they should have done, I said this in this game before they made the play, was 3-man stay there, disrupt, it doesn't matter if they get Baron, make sure they don't base. You teleport Shen P to the bot lane. It's a 2v1 against only one Nexus tower, and you just take the game.
Oh, well, Shen P did teleport. He did teleport into the fight. And, Clement, it wasn't very pretty at all.
This just hurts my head. Like, why is Malphite coming back here? He doesn't need to come back. Just delay the delay the backs. And now he goes in, and he goes in on top of an Aatrox.
Good night.
And Chris follows him. What?
Whoops.
I have to say there were so many times that OMG actually had this game in the back.
Yeah,
like they had a great read on the level 1 player, the 3-man player in the top lane. They punished that super hard, and then Crispin, Shen P just die 3 times.
Yeah, and we had the other one, which was this was earlier. When they're trying to retreat out of the base, Chunchapi's like, oh, I'm dead.
And Chris is just standing there. He doesn't even devour him. What is going on?
Five doesn't devour.
Five. I'm sorry. Five. This game's just silly from OMG. This is a problem with OMG. Both of these teams cannot close games. And OMG has been known to be a very weak shot calling team in terms of the late game.
True.
They did get Mountain in to fill that role, but apparently the communication between their bot lane and the rest of the team is not there. It's just completely gone.
Chunchapi as well. What's going on?
Oh wow!
Like we were impressed with his Ash Hours. His Tristana game was nice to watch as well. Then coming in today, we had a lot of praise for Chunchapi. Then he just decides, you know what? We need to win game 1 anyway. I'm just gonna die twice. Let FPX have the chance to come back and force a fight where the item power spikes coming up from FPX were just strictly better at that point.
I'm not going to give FPX any flack here. I think they actually did not play towards their win conditions. They set up Baron face checks multiple times against an Ashe with Hawkshot and Blue Trinket, when they should have just been split pushing the Aatrox lane. They didn't do it. They went to the late game where they had to play a 5v5 with an inferior composition in my mind. But they did capitalize on mistakes. They did.
We also can take a look at what happened earlier on in the match, especially towards the top side of the map, because things were just wishy-washy between these two teams. A couple of failed ganks here and there as well. Not looking too good for either side.
Yeah, this is the big one that really turned the game.
This is where Alex flashes into the turret and auto-attacks the turret.
That's just not I can't watch that. It's just sad.
Remember Graves auto-attacks doesn't go through what you click. It's projectile based, basically.
Alex was not a starting jungler in the LMS. He had very good mechanics. Everyone said he had great play potential, but he was kind of just that, just a mechanic.
Okay.
Yeah. So this type of play from him is not really unexpected. I do wish that FPX can kind of clean up their composition a little bit. If they want to play for purely the Kog'Maw in the 5v5, just get Gimgoon on a tank. It's easier to play.
I liked what you said about Alex, though, being a very mechanical player, because like even that top lane gank, yes, it was mechanically strong, just a couple of errors being played there, but the decision making coming out of FPX was weird as well. We saw that Baron play where they tried to execute Baron. They had the Baron technically against OMG. OMG were able to fight back, push them off it, and take it for themselves. It was all around just a very weird game.
They have such bad reads right there. That was going to be a 4v4. They were going to be trapped into the Baron pit themselves. They end up backing out and giving the Baron over to OMG. I disagree with Chris' target selection here as well. I actually think he should have, tried to disrupt the Baron taking and try to steal from there. But, that wasn't the primary mistake that happened there. They should have, if they want to go split push with Gimgoon, and this has been a recurring theme. Gimgoon, as a split pusher, has not worked for FPX. He has the individual mechanics to win against a lot of the blue-collar top lanes in the LPL, but his communication with the team has just never been there. It's never been on point, and him dying in the bot lane and then the team deciding to go all in into a 4v4 when Baron is against them was just boneheaded move over and over again. So
it was an unorthodox match. It was still a really exciting finish to watch. But LWX picks up MVP after that performance. He played Kog'Maw, played well. Actually, was one of the people that got the damage down onto Chunchapi to actually pick up the win.
I love that laugh because that's the exact expression I would have after winning that game. It's like, huh? How did I win that game? It doesn't matter. I won.
I won this game. It was all me. I picked off the Ashe, we killed Chunchapi, and then we just won because we're Kog'Maw. That's basically how that went. It was a very choppy match. FPX as well as OMG back and forth. But the ending was actually quite entertaining to watch. It was. Still first game of the best of 3 series. We're going to go into a break. Be back with game number 2 just a bit.
凤凰的精神就是不畏挑战，燃烧青春。